The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the April 23rd, the fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We're going to go figure out what the bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But much more important than that, and that's this. During this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in 877-927-6648. If you can't dial in, we've got you covered there too. Go ahead. Send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question, of course, in our Tiger's Den. Well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on fantastic Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, all the U.S. indices trading to the upside. Leader, percentage-wise, is the semiconductors. They're up 62. Right behind them, you've got the NASDAQ. The Russell's up 1.5. NASDAQ 100 close to 1.5. Dow's up 0.7, and the S&P is up a little over 1%. Leading the charge, dollar-wise, the upside, SVB Financial, $60, 11%. Amazon, $59, nearly 2%. Google, $54, 2.5%. Booking Holdings, $42. FactSet Research up 37. So some big movers. Shakers, Chipotle off $16, down 1%. Quidel Corp, $11, 8%. Kimberly-Clark off 5.5%, $7. Ring Central, $5. Clorox, $5 to the downside. So plenty to look at. Of course, we want to look at what you want to look at. And we've got a caller. So we've got call ahead seating here. Let's go to our first caller, and that is going to be, I apologize, where's the name? We've got Gary. Gary, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you? Do we have Gary?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, Gary. Thanks for holding. And you want to take a look at the ticker symbol is FUTU, Futu Holdings Limited. Tell us what you're doing, how I can best help you.
Okay. There's a couple questions. One, they released shares in the middle of a trade I had. Okay. So I'd like a little clarity on how you play that. It was based on something they did or wrote up last August, so I wasn't aware of it when I got into it. The good thing is I bought it down about 116 after it came off that. Hang on one sec. Let me find it.
Yeah, I see the bottoms out here.
25th, 26th, 27th. So I bought it around the 29th.
Okay.
So I got into it. I had a trailing stop, which was great. And then they released the shares after it went up to 177. And
sure.
So I did well. But the question is I'm trying to get back in eventually. So I'm a little mixed up.
Okay, well, so with regard to their issuance of new shares, really we're interested in understanding what was the price behavior. And the question we want to answer is, did price break through some kind of level of support? And so, Gary, the answer to that question, specifically with regard to its TAS market profiles, and specifically for the daily time frame, the answer is no. It did not break its support. Support in this instance here, because price is above resistance, and old resistance here is 125.20, that becomes support. Price came down very close to it a couple of days ago, so that's held. And that would say, okay, you could, we'll go take a look at the chart, see if there's some other patterns out there that we need to be concerned with. But at this stage here, if you're asking me, is it still bullish? The answer is yes. If price were to get below 125.20, then you're looking at price maybe pulling back to $94. But that's an if. We're not there yet. That's not the signal. That's not the information at 1:11 in the afternoon. Let's take a look at this daily time frame. So what we're looking for here is to try to understand, did this form some type of top recently? And as I take a look at the chart, the answer there is no. If anything, there's just this little sideways-ish consolidation. By the way, when this formed a bottom back on March 25th when you got into it, that was with a TD9 count bottom. When this topped back in February, this topped with a TD9 count bottom. You don't have that in play right now. You just have a good old-fashioned kind of consolidation out here. If you want to be patient and see if this will pull back, there's that possibility. Come back in at the 104-ish type area where, in essence, you got in on the first trade. And looking at the daily time frame chart, only because prices, it's really in a neutral territory. And what I mean by that is that as long as price trades below 149, we'll call it, and above 125, that's kind of a neutral zone for you, or for the stock on a daily time frame. Let me look at a 30-minute chart here for you, see if I can find anything. The 30-minute chart says this could actually short-term top this afternoon and then pull back and maybe pull back to 136. So here's my suggestion to you. You got out when? At the 160-ish type area?
Yes. Yeah.
If you got out because of the release of shares in your adjusted, your trailing stop that you had, but you were convinced that, you were convinced that this was something you wanted to be in longer, I would just say go ahead and jump back in right now. This has the potential for, on a daily basis, an A to B equals CD to the upside, and it took out the B point. And when I mean by B point, I'm referring to the swing from April 1st, Gary. That had volume of 10 million shares, and that was taken out with 14 million shares. So there's a possibility that there's a good old A to B equals CD in here. Since you're already in with the profit, you got out because of your concern of what they were doing from a share standpoint, and it didn't break through support. This could easily be on its way to 205, 226 out there. So it just depends how cute you want to be.
Yeah, I was looking for 200, so yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I mean that's the setup here. Is there like an ideal entry? No, but you're already in it. You took profits. You took action to protect those profits. Now that you know support is held, there would be no reason for there would be no reason for you to not stay with that same thought process in the trade. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate everything you do.
You bet. My pleasure. Thanks so much for calling. Let's go take a look at the we've got about 20 seconds here. So I tell you what we'll do in this 20 seconds, if I can get to it. Really, it's really picking up where we left off yesterday. Remember when the market was moving lower yesterday? We were trying to identify where are the levels of support. And you and I did that. And we did that by taking a look at those TD9 breakout levels. We're looking at this chart here for the ES Mini. Turns out that you were correct. Those TD9 breakout levels, if you take a look at the 30-minute chart, where did price, I got to pull back a little bit further here. 41.1775. Look how price came down there, tested it, rejected it. TD9s, folks. You want to learn your TD9. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 225, S&P 47. We're looking at the charts for the ES Mini. And yesterday, during the show, as the market was moving down, market hadn't made its way down to the 41.17, but because of using this totally objective set of tools that help us understand where breakouts are, prices will typically pull back to the breakout. And as bad as it looked yesterday, so to speak, all price was doing was testing that breakout level of 41.17. That was on the 30-minute time frame chart. We had a same level on the 60-minute time frame chart out here. We had it on 120. 120 was actually down at 41.14. Okay, so that's great, Steve-O. What are you going to do for me today? Isn't that really your question out there? I think that the answer to that is yes. So let's go take a look at the chart here that perhaps has the most meaning to us, and that's the 5-hour time frame chart. What do you mean the most meaning to us? Well, what I mean by that is if you take a look at how this formed a top, it formed a top with a TD9 count and a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. Then how does it form a bottom? And it forms a bottom with a TD9 count. Now what we have out here is we have price consolidating in between TD9 count support and TD9 count resistance. If you're asking where those are, it's pretty simple. It's 41.74.75. We're at 41.75 right now. And 41.19.75. You can use the lower number that we had on the 30-minute chart for the ES Mini, but this could just be a good old-fashioned consolidation. In other words, the highs for the day, give or take, may be in, and we're just in this little bit of a consolidation. Now, the 30-minute time frame chart says to you and I that if the highs are in, we need to see at least one more spike higher in the next, in essence, hour and a half. Hour and 20 minutes or so, I believe. And if you get that spike higher, then the 30-minute chart will generate a TD9 count top, while the 5-hour chart is up at the resistance level. So this is no place to add to a position. This is a place to go ahead and go short. I could see that on an aggressive trader. I would prefer to wait for the TD9 count on the 30-minute chart. You want to see some type of topping signal those shorter term time frame charts and see how they react. Where does price get below a level of support such as the oscillator and change line and so on and so forth. So that's what's going on inside the markets. Now we've got several questions that have come in, so I want to get to those, make sure that we don't leave any of those hanging come the end of the day. So let's get to the first question coming in from Mike in Sarasota. And Mike wants to take a look at Microsoft. Let me get my chart stuff set up here. Get to a different screen. Stop sharing, start sharing, go to here. Now we're at the main screen. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Microsoft. You're looking at Microsoft. Your questions are, is this in a confirmed A to B equals CD up from January 15th? And it also take a look at Square. So let's just take a look at Microsoft out here. And your first question was an A to B equals CD. I'm going to just move over to this black background chart. It's a little bit easier I can actually draw the A to B equals CD patterns. And we'll put up the daily time frame chart. And Mike's question is, there's an A to B equals CD pattern off of the January lows out here. So let's get back to the January low, which would be, I've got it listed as, looks like January 6th. What were you choosing? You were choosing January 15th. That's fine. I'll choose January 15th too. And so his question is this a valid A to B equals CD pattern? And looks like the B point is going to be maybe the high from February 16th, and the C point is the low from March the 4th. And in this instance here, what we can see, yes, valid. Well, it's a completed at this stage here. This has completed its A to B equals CD at the upside. Now, when we say it's completed, that pattern, Mike, it's been confirmed as price got to the 1-to-1 area. There are really two bearish reversal candles that formed. Well, yeah, there were two. You've got this little bear sash candle out here. Yesterday, you have a bearish, another bear sash candle, and you have a key reversal session because the prior high and low was exceeded. And we're in what I'll call a stretch condition. A stretch condition, you've got a completion of an A to B equals CD. So if you're asking, is there a topping pattern signal inside of Microsoft, the answer is yes. What would negate that is a close above yesterday's high, 261.78. Now, price is above the top of the daily profile, Mike, at 259.19. If you're asking me would I short this, I'd have to have real conviction behind that. And real conviction would say, boy, at least some type of topping signal on the 30-minute time frame chart. So let's open up Microsoft. Here you'll see that also there was a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that formed yesterday. So not just an A to B equals CD, but you also have another topping signal. Now, does that make it more of a top? And it just makes it that sellers are trying to tell you they're trying to top this out, but buyers are saying, yeah, you got another thing coming. And right now, the condition is neutral. On a 30-minute time frame chart, do we have any type of, I don't see anything here that is conviction to, although bar number 8 did form inside of Microsoft, I think I might have to, I don't know if I got a bad tick in here. Let me just reload this 30-minute time frame chart to see and just make sure I don't want to give Mike any bad information out here. And I'm not sure, I haven't read the total question here, Mike. I know you've got some long call diagonals. Okay, so I'm just going to, this must be updated. Must have been some type of push lower. I thought I'd seen something in the Dow. But in any event, the answer to your question, yeah, it's an A to B equals CD. It's a completed pattern out here. It's kind of neutral. And I think you need the market to give you more information to make a determination as to what direction Microsoft wants to go. You also want to take a look at Square. So let's get Square fired up here, see if I can provide you with any better information, although actually I think that's pretty good information on Microsoft. We know where it's at, and really it's in neutral territory right now. Kind of what we were looking at in the ES Mini, running right up into resistance. Square could just be a good old-fashioned consolidation. There's no doubt about that. That consolidation pattern would look like this because the highs have been tested a couple of different times, so we're there. The low. Come on, Steve, I'll grab it. It's going to look approximately like this. I'm not going to worry about being perfect here because perfection is just simply something we can't attain. But needless to say, Mike, Square is in this consolidation. It's very clear. Yesterday was a close. The day before was a close. Today might be a close below the bottom of its daily profile. And that would suggest lower price in Square. Lower price, the bottom of the consolidation in the 196-ish type range. Before it gets to 196, 228.13 would make an attempt to stop it. That is the top of the weekly profile. The monthly profile is not helping us. Let's pull over Square, see what we can find on a daily time frame. We're looking for any kind of market signals, tops, bottoms, whatever we have. We don't have anything. bar number 6 of a TD9 count. Price could easily be targeting the 218.41 level. What I would do here, Mike, no position, it's lagging, so maybe a short at some point. I would say, so it's got a TD9 count top. I'd wait for 3 or 4 more days to see if this forms a valid TD9 count bottom. Yeah, and that's what the daily is telling us. The weekly, we get over here. The weekly chart is signaling to get to the weekly. Sorry about that. Weekly chart, just the consolidation pattern out here. Mike, you're better off you're in the midstream of the consolidation. Pretty hard to take a position when truly in a consolidation. It could go either way. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for writing in. Have a fantastic weekend. Our next question coming in from Nancy. And Nancy wants to take a look at Calm, C-A-L-X. Let's go. Oh, Calix, not Calm. You're not in it. You're looking for a good entry point, and you're looking for support and resistance. So, Nancy, let's do this. We get back from this break. I'm going to give you all that information. This is Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
With take a look at ticker symbol CALX. That's Calix Inc. We're doing this for Nancy in Washington. Her first questions were, where is support and resistance? So, Nancy, on a daily time frame, pretty simple. Support's 43.71, resistance 47.51. On a weekly basis, support is 31.80, resistance is 46.89. You're asking for a place to enter this. So if we look at the daily time frame charts, Nancy, I don't know if you're a subscriber or not. And whether you are or not, I would say the same thing here. You sent me an email. You're looking at this. You've been following this. I wish you would have. I wish you would have known the TD9 counts out here, because they are the ones that provided you with the entry point on this. So if you've been looking at, so Calix makes this top out here back in the middle of March, and when it forms a bottom, it does it on bar number 8 of the TD9 count, right above TD9 breakout support, which was at 31.31. That was your signal. Could have been on the next day when you had the confirmed 9 count. That was your signal for an entry into it. When this topped out here, and you can do this pattern by hand, so it's not, it's nice that I've got this all automated and so forth. I couldn't do it by hand and do an efficient show for you. So I've got it all automated for various different reasons, but you can do this by hand. And if you don't know the pattern, learn it. Just subscribe to Mastering Probability. There's a workshop on there, and you'll be able to do this, and you'll be able to answer that question. If you're asking me, is there an entry point right now? Well, there's not an ideal entry point. Is it bullish, the condition on a daily basis? It is. It's really neutral because that TD9 count top that it hasn't taken out. Would I get into an instrument knowing that there's resistance at 46.25, 47.25, 47.51? I wouldn't. That doesn't mean it won't take it out, but I wouldn't. So I think on a 30-minute chart, I don't have anything here to suggest where 42.72 would be a level, but I don't have a reason yet on the charts to suggest that that's going to happen. So the answer to your question for what I really think you're looking for, which is more of a swing or a longer term trade than that, go learn the TD9 count, because you had the right instrument. You were just waiting for the right setup, and knowing that the 9s work pretty well on this instrument specifically, I think that would be a worthwhile investment of your time. You don't have to subscribe for more than 29 days. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just what it's going to cost you if you don't. So I hope that helps you out. There's your support and resistance. Let's go to the next question. This one coming in from Hector and the fuel injectors. And Hector wants to take a look at Facebook. Hector's question is Facebook completing a TD9 today? Or will it complete a TD9 today if it closes under 30.24? Let's go find out the answer to that. So in the case of Facebook, we're just going right to the white background NinjaTrader charts out here. And today will become bar number 8. So the answer is yes. Now, what it doesn't tell us, Hector, is whether, so today's bar number 8. I think you were wondering, is it going to complete a TD9 count today? And the answer there is no. So hopefully, so when this did top out here, so this is for Nancy and Hector, when this topped back on the trading session of April 8th, it was bar number 8 of the TD9 count. Now price is pulling back, so Hector is in the right place out here. That low could either be today, Monday, or Tuesday. I wish I could tell you which of those it's going to be. I can't. But you are in bar number 8. Price is below the bottom of its daily profile. So that's a suggestion that, okay, we may be in pretty good shape for this to pull back a bit further. But yeah, there's definitely a TD9 count pattern that is in play out here. And you're asking what's the game plan going forward? I would wait for bar number 9 to complete. I would wait for bar number 9 to complete. Now, Hector, you may be an aggressive trader. And you're going to say, you know what, Steve-O? I'm not interested in waiting for bar number 9. Then go ahead and take the trade now. It formed a nice bottom yesterday afternoon. It was a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. So, but, is it going to be a TD9 count? Won't know that at a minimum until we see how this trades and closes on Monday. So I hope that helps you out. Hope you and Patty have a great weekend. Thanks so much for writing in. The next question coming in from Marty. Marty wants to look at Go Row, not Go Low, but Go Row. So let's go see what Go Row is and help him out. GORO. And his question is, what do the charts tell you about Go Row, long-term and short-term? So if we take a look at what it's doing on a daily basis right now, consolidating with inside support and resistance, that's between 275 and 295. On a weekly basis, price hit this week, the top of resistance, backed off. That was at 313. It got to 311. Let's cut it a little slack there for 2 pennies. And so it's consolidating between 313 and 261. If you're asking me, where's an ideal buy on this, which I think you are, and you're looking for a long-term or even short-term, at this stage here, I'd get it down at the bottom of that weekly profile at about 261. Let's pull over the GoRo white background chart, see if there's any additional information to help Marty and I out. As we take a look at this chart, what do we see? Not much. We see that the oscillator and change line had recently changed colors. Price is testing that again. Right now it's somewhat bullish, but it closed below. And it's at 287. We're at 286. We're not going to let our skirts get blown out of kilter, so to speak, by closing blow up by a penny. With no bottoming signal or anything like that, and knowing that consolidation on the weekly, this is going to say just sit tight. Sit tight. Sit tight and see if this thing will come back. And on a 30-minute time frame chart out here, Marty, we don't see anything. Take that back. So there's a TD9 count. So here's what you're going to know. You're at 286. If price closes below 284 today, you're going to get lower price. Now we'll pull all the way back to that weekly bottom of that consolidation area, 261. I don't know the answer to that, but the 30-minute chart would be signaling to you, hey, be patient out here. This has more to go to the downside. So hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for writing in. And let me see, I think we've covered all of the requests by email. Oh, I take that back here. Nope, that's not the case. I think we may have. So then let's go to, we've got a question inside the Tiger's Den. And Ruby's asking, do we have an upside target for the Russell 2000? So how are we going to answer that for Ruby? Well, we're going to go look at the charts and see what we can figure out here. So we start with this set of charts. That's because I'm trying to get my other set of charts on the other screen going so that we can take a look at those too. But we're going to start with this set of charts here. So the interesting thing, Ruby, when I take a look at this, and I'm sure you're seeing the same thing, on the daily time frame right now, price is trading above the top of its bearish structured profile. That number is 22.59. We're at 22.68. If price closes above that, what the signal is to you and I is change in trend. Or, stated another way, price should continue to move higher. Now you're asking me, where would this move higher to? Well, we have all the profile levels out here. And the only answer that I can come up with, because price is above the weekly, price is above the daily, price is above the monthly. So, Ruby, the logical target becomes the prior swing point. The prior swing point is just going to be a few days back, April 5th, and that would be 22.98. And if price can get above that, then you go to the next swing point, and that takes you to March 15th in the 23.66 level out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at these charts. Let's go take a look at our other white background charts, our multi-time frame. Stop sharing, start sharing, get over to the page. Where is that page? There we go. Okay, so now we're looking at our eight background, 8 time frame charts out here. So, Ruby, when you take a look at this, start from the bottom right and take a look at the 5 hour, then the 4 hour, then the 2 hour, then the 1 hour. We're just kind of going in reverse. Well, it's not really reverse time order, but when you look at the 300-minute chart out there, what does that tell you? Breakout. Price is trading above its breakdown level of 22.56. The same on the 240. The same on the 120. I'm not saying this won't form a short-term top out here, but boy, this is sure signaling to you and I that price wants to continue to move higher. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD, Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. I love it when the student teaches the teacher. And that's what we have going right now. Hector wrote back to me, and he said, would you please refresh the screen, basically, because I've got this in a TD9 count. And he is exactly right. So my system must have left out one of the days. So, Hector, the answer to your question is, if Facebook does close below 302.24, it will generate a valid TD9 count pattern. Now, price is still below the bottom of that daily profile, but nonetheless, what you should see is a move up to 308.02, near 301.22. So, and you've got that bottoming signal in the 30-minute time frame out there, so it should be able to make that move. You got 307.70, 308.02. That, in essence, is your resistance zone. I'm not showing a chart. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Let's redo that. That's the problem when I try to share more and not pay attention. So let's get this chart up on the screen. Here's your Facebook chart, folks. And I refreshed it, which generated an additional bar. Something was missing here. You can see the TD9 count. And so there's the pattern that is in play right now. So, Hector, thanks so much for writing back and asking me to refresh the screen out there. Let's go out to Brent in Martinez, California. Brent, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Steve. I'm in the middle of a project again, so if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of work and talk to you at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So the ticker symbol, folks, that Brent wants to take a look at is HYLN. That's Hyliion Holdings. And tell us what you're doing and how I can help you.
I've traded the stock a few different times, but the first time it's when it shot to that 22 level.
Okay.
I just happened to buy into it right before that happened, and so I made money there, and I've just been watching it to hopefully make a bottom, which I bought, I guess it was on that day it hit the $7.95, that low.
Sure.
So I'm in at $8, and I was going to have you look at it. I think I could argue that there was a 3 drive to a bottom pattern, but if nothing else, there was I believe it was either the 9th bar. It was getting towards the end of the TD9 count when that hit. So I just wanted to take a look at that, and also any resistance levels going back the other way. Good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's the good news. When it did bottom, it was on bar number 9 of a TD9 count and also wave number 7 of a Chapman wave. So you got a two for there. And, could we probably make it into a 3 drive? We do, but we don't need to. Once we have one bottom, we're pretty good. Now, the cool thing is that today price is trading above the top of its daily profile. So your first level of resistance appears to be failing. So when I say appears to be failing, the price point is going to be 9.29. It's trading at 9.35. So close above 9.29. Then what it generates for us is a change in trend signal. There is one more change in trend signal area that price needs to go over to truly give us that. But where price should be headed is to that area. That area is $11. $11 is the TD9 breakdown level because it's made a TD9 count bottom. So that's your resistance on the daily time frame. I like the chart, like the patterns for sure. On a weekly basis, the weekly chart, Brent, also happens to be in bar number 9 of a TD9 count. Also happens to be wave. Yeah, and the weekly also happens to be in wave number 7. Now, wave number 7 on the weekly can continue because this is the lowest low of the pattern. But, boy, on a weekly, you've got a potential bottoming signal. Nothing on the monthly. When it was making its bottom, when you were buying in on the 30-minute chart, it was generating a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom signal out here. Tops with a TD9 count, pulls back a bit just in a sideways consolidation. So everything looks good. Nice work on your part as always. And let's pull for this to close above the top of that daily profile at 9.29. Now, if it doesn't, it just tells you resistance is held and you don't have a change in trend just yet.
Okay. If you don't mind, I don't know if you have time right at the moment, but at some point, can you take a look at, for some reason, Gilead seems to be having issues around the 66 level. It gets up there, multiple times and has not been able to break through there. Do you see something on your charts that shows that as some kind of a resistance level on your work, or is it just happens to be a spot, having trouble with?
Sure. So I'm going to pull up the other chart. It takes just a few moments to populate. As we just look at our black background charts, it's just, do I see any reason here why it's stalling? I don't. But what I do like, it's just slightly higher highs, that's more than slightly higher lows out here. So that still looks good. In today's action, the pullback, Brent, was just a retest of the top of the daily profile, which was 64.90. The low today has been 64.88. So support is held, nothing really broken there. As I open up my white background charts now, okay, there's your answer. So 67.27 is the TD9 breakdown level. So every time we see price getting up there, that's where the sellers in essence reside. They're doing what they can. I don't really see them as winning the battle here just yet because of the series of higher lows and slightly higher highs. But 67.27 is the nut that needs to come.
That's what I was looking for. I appreciate that.
Anytime. Well, Brent, be safe out there. Thanks for the call. Have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, do the same, Steve. Thanks so much. You take care.
You bet. My pleasure. We've got a request from Boston Dan. And Boston Dan, let me see a smaller set of charts here, is asking about ticker symbol. Where did it go? BB. BB. So let's go ahead and get this populated. I guess I probably should have done it off the screen here. And his question is BB's weekly a bar 8 or bar 9 bottom? So let's get over here and check it out. And on the weekly time frame, as we take a look at ticker symbol BB, neither. Today on a weekly basis, and you wrote in weekly. I want to make sure, weekly. So the weekly bar is going to become bar number 5, not bar number 8. No reason for me to even refresh this because it won't get to a bar number 8. So the answer to that question is bar number 5. On a daily basis, as long as we've got BB open, BB does not have a TD9 count bottom, not yet. It could do that, but it would have to get below the price point, have to spike below 804 in order to be able to generate that, and have to do that Monday or Tuesday out there. John wrote in, and John wants to take a look at my multi-paneled chart for gold. So let me get that rolling here in the background. Let me change the screens, and we'll go over and take a look at that screen. And John's question was, as price was pulling back this morning, was it running into support levels? So as we take a look at the gold chart now, John, here are the charts. I'm going to show you something. You already know this, but really it's more for everybody else out here. But the answer to your question, does come back on a 30-minute basis into any level of support? Not really. Not a TD9 breakout level out here. Not that I've got. So I don't really have that it really pulled back to a key level of support for us to look at. So that's the first thing. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to switch panels again, and we're going to go to a short-term time frame. And that short-term time frame is going to be comparing the movements in the U.S. dollar to gold. So the question is, where did I put that? Oh, it's on this index trends page right here. So take a look at this. We're about to go to break. In the upper left-hand corner, you follow my cursor. My cursor, when I'm on one panel, it's going to be the same spot in another panel. Look at when gold made its high today. That's the upper left-hand panel. Look at what gold was, or the U.S. dollar was doing. Both were hitting trend lines. The same thing. We'll cover this when we get back from the break. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So just trying to answer John's question really with regard to, the price movements that were going on today. What was really happening? In the case of gold, it wasn't hitting the level of support as was making its high. But as was making its high at 9 o'clock this morning, the U.S. dollar index had traded right down into that little trend line support. And then what happened? The U.S. dollar reversed, gold reversed. When the U.S. dollar ran into its descending trend line, that was at 10:30, that is exactly when gold was bottoming. So with regard to today's signals, John, this was the only thing that I was able to identify as to what was going on versus price coming back to that TD9 breakdown level. we have a question. Take a look at the GBTC. And if we take a look at GBTC, the question is, what is the question? No question. As we take a look at Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, here's what we know right now. What do we know? That's the weekly. Let's look at the daily. The daily time frame shows us what? The daily time frame is suggesting that if Bitcoin can close below this hammer candle, that's its support level. That's from the trading day of March the 5th. That low is going to be 37.88. So far it's held. But if price closes below 37.88, where you want to look at getting into GBTC would be at about 32.80. I say about 32.80 because that's a TD9 breakout level. Today is going to become bar number 6 of a TD9 count. If a TD9 count, we don't know whether it will or it won't form a bottom at this stage, or whether it will even develop out here. But if it did, that pattern would develop or could develop 6, 7, 8, 9 between Monday and Thursday, really, is what we'd be looking at out here. No other signal, but just know that at least GBTC is back at a support level. So, folks, it's the end of our week. They go by pretty quickly. Thanks so much for being here. I want you to have a safe weekend, a happy weekend. I want you to get outside. I want you to visit Florida. Why? Because it's very normal down here. We don't wear masks because we don't need them. We don't do social distancing because we love our friends and family. And there is no COVID outbreak. Come on down to Florida. We'd love to see you. Have a fantastic weekend, folks.